What did you kind of think of maybe the way that Georgia State tried to speed you guys up and how you handled it, and just kind of your thoughts on the game?
First of all, I think they're a really good team. A really good team. You want to be a coach and get scared. Just look at their stat sheet. I mean, their numbers are crazy good. They came into this game and playing a really good schedule. They're shooting 45 from the field overall, 40-something, 1 or 2 from 3 for the year. Their opponents, they're even on the boards. They force more turnovers than they make. And their opponents were shooting 38%, if I'm not mistaken, overall, and in the 20s from 3. You can't have a better stat sheet after what they played 9, 10 games, whatever it is, 11. And this is a good team. This is a good team. Old guards, a lot of old experienced guards that have game. I thought we got very sloppy. You got to give them credit. They're very quick. They're very aggressive, and they're very tough. That's why they've won so many games in a row. I've watched them be behind. They come from behind. I was worried that I've seen them come from behind about 4 different games and win. They don't quit. They reach a lot and grab, and they do a good job of it. And we did a really poor job for the last 12 minutes of the first half when we were trying to set the Moody Coliseum record for turnovers in a 7-minute span. I think we got it. But our defense was good all night, and probably the thing I'm most proud of is we hold them to 37%, and they've never, I don't know if they've seen that, they've not seen numbers like that. So our defense was good, our rebounding was okay, and our resolve second half and especially down the stretch was very good.
Ferran Hunt, 8 of his 9 hoops on dunks. As Isaiah said, 10 feet over the rim. He said with their press, there was no need for him to shoot from the perimeter.
Yeah.
And you always talk about efficiency as much or more than total points. Overall, what'd you think of him?
Well, in a lot of those areas, very, very good. I think, first of all, he's a tremendous athlete, and he played outstanding at Georgia. I mean, in all areas. For me, of course, I want everybody to dunk the ball all the time and score points, but what I look at the most are the things that are going to equate every night that you can control. Did you play well defensively? Did you play smart? Did you take good shots? Did you rebound? Did you block out? The things that's winning, the winning basketball things. And I thought he played well. I thought he made some defensive mistakes, but he was definitely a highlight reel. And I will say too, and I'm sure he said this, he was the recipient of a lot of, we broke the press well. We had, especially second half, we not only do you want to break a press, you want to attack a press, so they have to decide, do we want to keep giving up easy baskets or not? So he was the recipient. But I really rather talk about his Georgia game. I thought he was fantastic. I mean, he really battled. I loved the look that he had in that game 2 games ago.
What do you think of the way Isaiah's played in his first couple games? Isaiah, JC, sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
He's doing fine. It's a difficult thing to just walk in and be in rhythm and be in flow when the season's already, whatever it is, 9, 10 games along. But he's doing fine. He's not doing anything wrong. Ethan's doing a lot of things well. Everett played really well in the Georgia game in the limited minutes I gave him. He was very good tonight. I have a tough little. Everybody wants to play minutes, and I want to give them all minutes, but you don't want to overdo it either. So it's a real challenge for me now. I'm not disappointed in any of them, but again, I don't want to just make it a rotating door. But Isaiah's done fine. I think he'll continue to get more and more comfortable and play better and better for us.
Exactly how much of a motivator was that Georgia game? I know you talked about just how kind of let it slip out. You had the opportunities here and there. These guys seem like that game really kind of moved them, but let me hear it from you.
Well, I think it hurt. I think we were all pretty devastated. I don't know. I'm not over it yet. I hope they are. Players have I know when I played, I got over it 100 times faster than what I get over it as a coach, I can tell you. And thankfully so, by the way. You wouldn't want your players feeling like coaches feel, but that was a painful loss, because we did. I feel like we had the game in hand, and it was, we played well enough, and we just, it didn't finish our way. But what what a big win it would have been. Then we'd have 3 road wins, an SEC amount in West Missouri Valley. Not many teams in the country have 3 road wins, true road wins in the preseason. Those are big. So it's painful, but you know, there's not a thing we can do about it. And now we take 4 days off, then we practice 4 days, and then we start the league. And I'm sure by the time we get back 4 days from now, that game will be a distant memory. But I hope it motivates us some, and I hope that it, you know, can help us in some way.
How would you kind of assess throughout? I mean, I still have one more non-conference game, but how would you kind of assess the non-conference and what you guys have done? Are you happy, or do you feel? I mean, where do you kind of feel?
I would have been thrilled if we had one more point the other night. I would have been thrilled. Like I said, 3 road wins, a great record, a lot of different situations that we had to win, a lot of different styles that we had to play to win, and again, the road game. You know, true road games. Road games, we all know that they're much harder than home games, but I feel good. But we're still not the team that we can become. There's a lot of room for improvement, a lot. I hope that we're good at accelerating that. But I like our team. I like a lot of things going on. Obviously, there's a number of you know, things that could add to us, and hopefully they will. But I'm very pleased so far, and I would have been thrilled had we finished the game the other night.
Given the way the game the other night got away, being so close down to the end, were you concerned about any kind of hangover going into tonight? And was there anything you and your staff did or said to help try to get your guys beyond that?
Not a hangover, because I think you know, we all know that every single game is so darn important. It has ramifications. You know, they add up and they mean something, and you just can't be hungover. And I don't think we were going to let them, and I don't think they needed us to tell them that. I think they're a pretty motivated group, and they're aware of the way college basketball works. So I was not worried about that. I will tell you that one thing I was worried about going into the week was that they would be highly motivated for Georgia, who is the, you know, a name SEC school, and then be like, Georgia State. And I told them at the beginning of the week that if Georgia played Georgia State, I'm not sure who wins that game, just so you guys know. So our week is not a big hard game at Georgia, and then this easy game that's not. So I think we put it in their mind a long time ago that we have every bit as tough a game on the second one. So I think hopefully that helped, so they didn't feel like this was, you know, going to be a walk, and certainly it was anything but that.
Now you have a chance for to rest a little bit, and conference play is you know, starts January 1st. A win like this, obviously, you know, it brings you confidence, but with the rest, the confidence, just, you know, everything here, what are the expectations going into the AAC play?
Well, win, I mean, that's the only thing we think about, talk about. You know, I don't know if expectation's even the right word. Like, I mean, I don't know how you would have a team and go, you know what, let's set our expectations down here. I mean, can you imagine telling your team, you know, here's my expectations, if we just could win a few, you know? So I don't look at it like that. And I think expectations, truthfully, in sports in general, are just one of the most artificial things. And I'm not trying to disrespect the question at all. I'm just telling you how I feel. But expectations is like, what is that even? But goals, you know, what are we trying to be about? Regardless of what he thinks or she thinks or whatever. And so what is your group? What are their goals? And your goal has got to be to win every single game, and it's got to be to win a championship, whether you're should or not, you know, and until you put yourself in a position not to, I don't know what else there is to think about. And so we're still in a position to win a championship. We haven't started, you know, and so I think we have to only think that way.
What do you think about the conference? What teams are, from what you've seen, most of the non-conference play in the books?
You know, the truth is, I don't watch many of our games just because I don't have time. I'm watching us, practice, games of us. and then watching 4 games of every single team we play. And there's just no time to go turn the TV on and like, hey, I want to sit here and watch whatever. So I don't watch them much. I'll bet I've watched, if you added all the minutes together, 20 minutes of a few teams in our league where I'll flash through and watch 2 minutes just to kind of see what they look like, you know, who they've got. But judging from scores, it's just going to be a typical, really, really, really hard league. You know, it's a really tough league. It's a great league, and it's a defensive league that's very well coached on that end. I would prefer, and I don't know which league I'm talking about this year because I'm not going to watch them all, but you know, you'd like to be in a league where it's very loose defensively and lots of offense, because those type of teams are much easier to beat than a lot of the teams in our league that really hang their hat on defense, toughness, rebounding, all those kind of things. And that's what our league's about. And there's a lot of really good teams, had some great wins. I think there's probably been some a number of close disappointing losses, but when all the smoke clears, it's another great year in our conference.
Speaking of defense, you held them to 36% shooting. Only 2 guys for Georgia State shot 50%, and one of them, or better, and one of them was 1 for 1. How would you characterize your defensive performance? What was the key to that end tonight?
Well, I hope the key is we're getting better and tougher. I know that lately we've been a lot better on the defensive rebounding side of things, which is so critical. We definitely are making a move there. I don't know if we were great tonight. I thought they were nasty tough on the board. Their big guys came in and really banged, I thought. I thought they really were aggressive. But obviously the defensive boards has a lot to do with your field goal percentage, because if they're getting a bunch of easy baskets, you get putbacks, or you get the kick out, one more 3 that you can't guard. I liked our defense. I love the numbers. I did think, and I thought this, I told our guys before the game, this game will, in my opinion, you know, as I picture it, having watched, the game will totally come down to what they'll end up doing is spreading the floor, putting their head down, driving the ball. Because I felt like we'd take them out of basically everything else, and that's where they're headed, and they do have the talent at the guard positions, 4 guards, to do that. And the only negative I have is maybe at the 4-minute, 4.5, 3-minute, 2-minute, I didn't think we guarded the ball very well. I know Isaiah was saying it was me, but it wasn't just him. That was the only negative. But if you're going to put up 36% defensive field goal percentage, you're going to win most games.